Hello, world. My name is Natalie Drakowski, and this past semester I was in Dr. Jessica Delvecchio's 211 performance analysis class, and we had to do the ever infamous performance analysis research project. The play that I chose was actually not on our list of possible choices, but Dr. Delvecchio suggested that I do it anyways. It is a play known as Sex by the ever-famous Mae West. Now, my job here today is to tell you guys about my own experience researching this play. And so that's what I'm going to do, otherwise I'm going to fail this assignment. So, the first question that I have to answer: how has your research practice or practices changed as a result of this assignment? Well, that's a very easy question to answer. You see, I used to think that all the research really was just scraping the top of the barrel, just getting that cooked milk off the top of your hot chocolate. But that's not really what it is. You gotta dig deeper. You gotta really look into your subject matter and really get involved emotionally and personally into what you're researching. It's not just looking at the top 3 Google results, it's really getting to know what you're researching. Now, in terms of some of the challenges that I faced, there were definitely a few. The first was probably just trying to find online resources, because I do my best research in books. I'm very good in the library, so researching online was definitely a struggle. But regardless, I did still have problems with monographic resources. I didn't know that you had to read the full book, so I just selected chapters, and I found out can't do that. So definitely reading the full book was a struggle for me. That was a really big challenge. Despite these challenges, I did have quite a few successes throughout this project, including finding a couple of websites full of pictures from Haiti and Broadway in the 1920s, which proved to be very helpful in fulfilling some of my categories. Now, I'm sure that you guys are wondering, what are some insider tips or tricks that you have? And boy howdy, do I have a lot of them. So listen up, kiddos. Tip number 1. Get to know your musical or opera or play or whatever it is, because trust me, if you go into the library on the first day and you forget everything about your show, you're gonna have a hard time. Tip number 2. Follow yourself down rabbit holes. If there's something that you're curious about that's constantly mentioned in the play, like a word or a theme or a phrase, look it up, find the history of it. You never know what you're going to find. Definitely get curious about your play and get invested in it, because you're going to be sticking with it for a couple of months. And finally, my last tip: read the whole source. You need to understand what the author is trying to argue or the information that they're trying to give you, and you're not going to get it in its entirety if you only read one chapter or one paragraph that seems to most pertain to your play. Now, in terms of what I'm going to take to other projects after this one, honestly, I think I'm going to take a lot. I now know that research is not just skimming the top of the barrel. You've really got to reach your hand down into that hot chocolate. You can't just, take the milk off the top. You've really got to burn your hand, give it a good 2nd-degree burn, All jokes aside, I did take a lot away from this project. I really do know that in order to research a certain subject, like a play or a musical, you really have to get to know what you're researching. You have to understand a lot about it. And I now know that there really is a lot of effort that goes in on a dramaturg's part, and in terms of the future for my own dramatic work, I know that I am going to be asking a dramaturge about more than just the staging conventions that would have been typical for the time in which it was originally produced. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes this video. Thank you for watching.